Hey, today we're talking about the widow. Now there's three things to keep in mind in this area. Number one, she should be a widow, or a widower is fine too. Number two, she should own her house. She shouldn't be a renter. Otherwise, you're basically fixing up the landlord's house. Number three, and this is the one you really got to get, okay? You're the ones who drive this project, not the widow. You're the ones who decide what's going to be done, not the widow. You're not a contractor that she's hired to come in and do what she wants done. That's not the relationship. The relationship is you're a volunteer force coming in to do what you can do well, and do well in a day. So keep that in mind. You want to keep this simple. And speaking of keeping it simple, I think there's four things you ought to focus on when you visit a widow's house. Number one, painting, cleaning, decluttering, and landscaping. If you do those four things, a couple of benefits. You're not going to spend a lot of time running all over the place trying to get supplies donated because there's not that many supplies to get when you have those four things. The second thing is you're going to have the kind of project that no matter who shows up to work that day, you can put them to work. And that's important. Now, how do you find a widow's house? My best source I'd suggest is go to your church. Inside your church or other churches, neighboring churches. Another good source is your core team. They know a lot of people you don't. And then widows of first responders, Meals on Wheels, and hospice services. And another thing you want to keep in mind when you're visiting the widows, you always want to manage expectations. So you always want to refer to them when you meet them the first time as a candidate, because really they are a candidate for this and they may not be chosen. So you have to make sure you set the expectations well. And when you're visiting and going around the house and looking at different situations, what I always say is, so if you were chosen, would you want us to declutter this room? And if you were chosen, would you want us to paint this porch? That way she understands that she is a candidate. This is gonna be a lot of fun. And I got to tell you something. It may be hard finding a widow, but there's a widow out there somewhere. I know that.